Welcome everyone to my channel, Alice in Industryland. Today we have a special guest to start off our podcast with, which is Shan right here. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, my name is Shan. I'm a filmmaker based in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah, cool. Welcome. Welcome to my channel and thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great to be here, yeah.
So today we're going to talk about his career path and his background a little bit to get to know about his work. So can you tell us a little bit about your background as a filmmaker?
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to be an animator before I got into filmmaking. So I grew up doing a lot of like anime art, cartoons and whatnot. But I guess my career kind of changed its direction when I entered into university. I couldn't find any opportunities like entering into animation. So I found out there's a film school at my university. So I went to UBC.
Okay.
So I applied to this film production program there without having any film knowledge or any film background.
Oh, wow.
But I learned lots of tutorials from like YouTube of how to use like Premiere Pro and like After Effects and like how to write and all. And so with that, I created my first short film from scratch with help from a few of my friends who are also like more experienced filmmakers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then miraculously I got in, and then I started to learn all kinds of filmmaking roles such as cinematography, sound design, acting even.
Oh, wow.
A bit of acting, and you don't want to watch the tapes of that.
I mean, this could be easily another film of I'm acting.
No, don't hire me as an actor, please.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. I heard you sharing a little bit about your first project. Do you mind sharing more about your first film?
Yeah, definitely. So it's basically like a sci-fi fantasy kind of story, and that's kind of the stories that I've like want to dive into more deeply. But I was only restricted to like a 10 minutes for my application, so I just made like a 10-minute short film project. It's just me. I was the director, writer, cinematographer, even editor. I was like a one-man show of that project.
Oh, wow.
And I was pretty proud of like how it became to be. And so I just kind of followed that kind of passion onto like my other film projects. In my film program, I made another film for my thesis, which I directed and wrote. And I think that's like my favorite piece.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
something I want to do more often. Yeah.
Awesome. So if in case someone wants to look up your film and see it, can you share where to find it and the title of the movie?
Yeah, definitely. So we released this film in 2019. It's called Summer Falls. It is one of my fourth year thesis film project about these two childhood friends that are about to be separated because one of them has to move away from the countryside. And so that came from my own personal life of me moving into Vancouver out of my hometown in Nanaimo, BC. And so I want to borrow some elements of that feeling of separation and longing of friendship and just valuing that kind of friendship in that one last day before venturing into something new. So I wanted to capture that in a fall setting. So if you, I guess I'll link to the film somewhere in this video, but
sure.
basically it's out right now. You're going to see lots of scenes of them exploring in the woods. Trying to get to this one lookout to watch the sunset for the last time. And it emphasizes the journey that they're embarking on their last day together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So again, it's just Summer Falls. It takes place in between the summer and the fall season. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Do you know, is there anywhere we can stream it, watch it, the film?
Yeah, definitely. So it's been in a few film festivals for the past 2 years, but now I've released it online in Vimeo, and I've got some pretty good reviews off of it. So a lot of critics like the film, including my actor. He got like a few awards from it. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it pretty kickstarted off his career. So you gotta check out his work. But essentially, yeah, you can watch it on Vimeo.
Okay, cool.
Just free.
Yeah, guys, go check it out. So, for your following up project, do you plan to make any other films coming up? Do you have any future plans for it?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. So after my film school, I have delved into other projects from my other friends who have made their own films. So I was just involved as like a cinematographer, producer, or even like smaller roles, like just being the sound guy or working on cameras and all. Making a film is very expensive. You shouldn't do it every single year or so. And so I kind of learned that the hard way with making my films in the past. And so I've not made any big projects myself for the past few years. I've just kind of went into a full-time role for a corporate company working as like one of their videographers. So I'm kind of waiting for that day where I can make my own short film. But I have made some scripts that I want to produce in the near future. So I might be producing something for the next year or so.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So like I kind of miss doing the creative aspect of filmmaking. And so like I have these stories that I want to create that's also based on my own personal life or something that I have observed in the past few years. Then I want to share my perspective or my story.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, yeah, please make sure to check out Sean's amazing film. I've seen it myself. It's very cute and romantic, and I can see myself being in it too.
Oh, man.
Kidding.
You're too
But,
nice.
yeah. Also, since you talked about making film is difficult, do you have any advice who's, trying to, make a first film of themselves or trying to get into that industry?
Yeah, definitely. So when I started doing filmmaking, I learned that it's really, really hard to do everything by yourself. If you're thinking of like doing a videography role, that's pretty easy. You just have like one cam. You only need to focus on one camera, one lighting setup, and just having to create like interesting shots on a budget. But on a film, you have to do it in a little bit bigger scale for a bigger audience to see. And so having that entire responsibility of doing sound by myself, camera by myself, directing actors by myself is very, very hard. It confuses you, it burdens you, you get stressed out very easily. And so I really, really advise for anyone that wants to get into filmmaking just to find a team. It's not that hard to get into the film industry, to be honest, especially here in Vancouver. If you do enter into a film set, you will make a lot of friends who are also as passionate in making film, like doing the storytelling aspect in a digital medium format, I would say. And so you wouldn't have any problems finding someone who wants to jump in working as a cinematographer or a producer or even an actor or an actress, as long as you are all passionate in doing committing to this project, then you won't have any hard time producing the film. Once you've found your team, you won't feel the pressure or the stress in producing the film because you're now surrounded by people who want to make the same thing as you do. And so once you have that creative motivation to create this film or any kind of project like music video or corporate event or something like that, even something as mundane as that, you won't have any problems making films if you enjoy doing. So definitely work in a team, definitely.
Yeah, that's a great advice. So in terms of getting your own team, do you advise going out to get your own team outside of your circle, or would you start with someone you already know?
Yeah, so if you're just starting out for yourself, I'd say you could just like shop around, just kind of mingle, be part of the community, see what kind of individuals click with you, what kind of genres that they're interested in. If they're more into horror but do like comedy, I guess you can find something creative, like make a subgenre of both or something like that.
Okay.
But it really, I think chemistry is very important to get to know each other's like creative mindset. I do notice that in some films that I've been on, there are a lot, if you are not, if you have like different interests, you will have a lot of conflict on set as to what kind of shots need to be taken, or if there's anything that you want to change that the other person wants to keep. That's really hard to find a common ground between that, and then eventually in the long term there will be like some bad blood on set.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that, because even not just film industry, but any creative industry really requires a great team and great team members to work together. And that's a start of any great project. And I think that's a great advice. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I really stress, just even if you just need to like be open just a little bit, just to hear them, understand them, and then kind of work with them to implement some of their own creative ideas. But it's really easy to just have that one group that you can work with in the long term. Like I know I've been collaborating with a bunch of my friends in the long term, and I already know like what kind of style that they're going for. So it's really easy to hear their project brief and then implementing like my own creative style for them.
Yeah, I agree that chemistry is very important working in a team setting, and bringing that creative vision to life can be very challenging, but also could be very easily done when you find the right fit of people working together as a team. So in case anyone wants to reach out and ask you questions or talk to you, or, just be friends or anything, do you have any contact that you can give out to the audience?
Yeah, definitely. So I run 2 Instagram accounts, but to find my filmography work, you can check out at Shan _films, or film, I guess. And in there you can find all of my previous work in my filmmaking career, as well as my videography career, which I'm also starting out. I'm also starting out my TikTok page, so it's just Shan Ugolino. And you can just find me there.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for coming onto my show.
Yes, ma'am.
And we had a great time getting to know about you and your projects. And if you guys want to check out Shan's work, please make sure to check out his Instagram and TikTok page. Also, make sure to search his film.
Yes,
Summer
Falls, and more to come. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shan, for sharing your experience and your film. Make sure to check out his social media accounts if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to get to know about his work. Please check it out. And thank you for everyone coming to my channel today. It was Alice in Industryland with Shan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.